Good morning. A lot of numbers out today, and one of the important numbers from the cement space will be Shree Cement, one of the best run cement companies and one of the expensive cement companies. So Nickey is here with me. She tracks the cement sector closely. Nickey, this is the Bloomberg consensus estimate. So what are the numbers? Just highlight the broad numbers that you have for us.
The basic numbers, revenue, top line growth, we're looking at a 25% uptick there at 2,300 crore as per the consensus. And if you look at the EBITDA, operating performance expected to rise as much as 18% year on year at a number of around 552 crore. Margins are expected to remain more or less stable at a number of around 25 odd crore. And if you look at the bottom line performance, that's expected to inch up as much as 10 odd percent year on year basis to a number of around 259 odd crore. That's the basic expectation we have.
Okay, so for cement companies, I think volume and realizations are extremely important. So what are the numbers throwing up for Shree Cement here?
Now we got to bear in mind the fact that in the corresponding quarter of the previous year it was a demonetization period there. So we are expecting some kind of low base effect which will percolate down and make the numbers look a tad better than what they are originally. Realization per ton is expected to grow 11% year on year to a number of around 4,180 and volumes are expected to inch up by 12-13% on year basis. 5.5 million ton is the number that we're looking, empty is the number that we're looking in this quarter, and higher realization is expected to partially offset the higher power and fuel expenses that the company might witness in this quarter, given that it switches to an alternative fuel method of consumption given the temporary petcoke ban that we saw in this quarter. EBITDA per ton is also expected to be good enough. I mean, it's going to be a 5% modest growth coming in there. That's a count of higher cost pressures that we're looking in overall for the industry.
Yeah, so I was going through a few of these previews, and one of the things that a couple of them did mention was the fact that East India exposure is something that will benefit companies that have a significant amount of exposure. So does Shree Cement benefit of that, and what's the impact of the impact of this petcoke issue that happened on Shree Cement's margins?
Sure. So, petcoke issue happened back in November, December, and we might just see the bearing on this factor because the company had to switch to alternative higher method of fueling that could be coal, which in turn escalated the power and fuel expenses for this company. We may also see some kind of pressures coming in on the volume front because they also had to raise the prices because of the higher cost pressure. So there could be that could lead to a little hit in the demand that we could see. So both your volume as well as your pricing numbers is something that we need to keep an eye out, at least in the commentary coming in, because cost pressures have been rising for 6 quarters now for the industries.
Okay, and finally, once the numbers are out, what are the 2 or 3 key parameters that that our viewers should clearly watch out, whether that will decide that's a good number or a bad number? What are you watching out for?
So I'd be watching in A for a volume, a 5.5 million ton, 12-13% growth on YOY basis is what we should be looking at. The pricing environment, given that how the prices have moved and inched forward, and also I'd be looking mainly into power and fuel expenses. I'd like to understand if the cost pressures continue for this industry overall, and Shree Cement being the north players and having the north player having 100% exposure to your pet coke and the temporary ban which came in, it will be interesting to watch how the company has dealt with this issue.
Okay, many thanks for that, Nickey. Certainly these are the important factors that you have to watch out for Shree Cement. Remember, Shree Cement will come out with numbers today, and in most cases it will probably come out during market hours. So that's the important number that you have to watch out today. Thanks for watching BloombergQuint.